Hey everybody, welcome to Awesome Finds. Now I got quite a few records to show you, so I'm going to dive right into it. The first batch all came from a couple different Goodwills. First up we have Judy in Love. Now look at her. I'm a sucker for Judy Garland, and this cover is just beautiful, just mid-century. Love it, just love it. Couldn't pass this one up. And Nelson Riddle, who, you know, him and Sinatra, pair made in heaven, right? Then I got Arthur Lyman's Blown in the Wind, and I was hoping against hope that this was a cover of the Bob Dylan tune, and guess what? It is. It's an Exotica version of Blown in the Wind, so you got vibrophones. It's crazy. I mean, it's not that crazy, but it's just funny that one of the godfathers of Exotica, Arthur Lyman, would cover Blown in the Wind, but you could just see by this time they were just stretching, trying to pull anything they could. I look forward to listening to this in my future tiki bar. So, right now, currently, as of this taping, our creative director, Josh Sankar, is actually in New Orleans right now working on a film. So I bought this for that, plus the cover is just awesome. I mean, look at this cover art. And I hope to make it out there either this year or next, because I've never been to New Orleans and I would love to go. This was one of those, I had no idea what it was. I just bought it anyway. It's called Matt Bianco. Most people think that's the name of one of the members of the group, but it's not. That's the name of the band. It's sort of like Jethro Tull. I used to think that was a person. I haven't listened to it yet. I guess it's in the vein of Sade and Everything But the Girl. Gonna check it out. Let me know if you know this band. So I picked up the Pointer Sisters. Now, they're well known. I was like, Pointer Sisters, can't really go wrong with that. Plus, it was bought at Logos, which, growing up in Santa Cruz, that was the local record shop. That's where you would go to buy, sell, trade. And I bought a lot of my first albums there. And this place is still there. So I bought it out of that as well. I didn't pay $4, though. I think I only paid $1 for this. And I should have known from this cover and then the back of what this was going to be. But basically, it's the Pointer Sisters doing 1920s music. Really jazzy, and while it's technically very good, it's like having a woodpecker constantly beating at your eardrums because they're just all over the place. It's sort of scatting on crack. That's what it's like, and I do not like this record at all. Stay away from this. You have been warned. Now, this is one of the ones I purely bought because of the cover. Look at that awesome beehive. And, you know, the music's not half bad either. From what I listened to it, it's sort of 80s music, kind of reminiscent of 60s stuff. If you guys have heard of her, let me know. Then, because I'm a big fan of Johnny Cash, I picked up some Rosanne Cash, and it's not bad. It's actually pretty good 80s country. This is one of the ones I was so stoked to find. It is Queen Jazz, and it's got the Bicycle Song and Fat Bottom Girls. Just such a cool cover. This is actually a embossed cover. Look at that gatefold. Beautiful. Who would not want to be there when they took this picture, right? Just incredible. Look at all those instruments. Man, that must have been a blast. That ceiling is amazing. Then I was on such a kick. I got another sound effects album. So cool. In stereo. It's on the Electra company, which I love their logo. It's got all kinds of stuff. Sports car race, horse race, door buzzer, shooting gallery. Ooh! Car skid and crash. Oh my gosh, that stuff I always look for. It's so hard to find that kind of stuff. This next group are a bunch of records my parents picked up for me, which is awesome. Thank you, Mom and Dad. They know I love Sinatra. I didn't have this one, and it's in stereo. Awesome. Now this one I was very excited for. Ricky Nelson. I love Ricky Nelson. I have a few of his albums, but I didn't have this one. I mean, it's just, you can't go wrong with Ricky Nelson. Then my dad also got me Mr. Lucky. It's a Harry Mancini soundtrack, and I have this copy, and I bought it purely because of the cover, and my dad did too. So I'll have to check to see which one's in better condition. This one's fascinating. Viceroy Campus Jazz Festivals. It's a cigarette-sponsored jazz album. Such a trip, man. I've never seen anything like this. All kinds of different people, and apparently they've made quite a few of these on this private label. I don't know if they're collectible at all. I love anything to do with cigarette because it's such a taboo thing advertising wise. At least here in America, cigarette companies are very restricted in terms of what they can actually advertise, and you just don't see this stuff at all anymore. And lastly, they got this Perspectives and Percussion. I initially thought this was an Enoch Light Orchestra, but it's not. It's made by Stereo Fidelity. This is definitely one of those things that was put out by a low-budget company to compete with the name brand, which would be Enoch Light. Finally, I've been getting real into these 12-inch singles from the 80s and 90s. This one is by D-Light. It's not their big hit. Haven't heard it yet, but I just love the artwork on this. So cool. Then I got two of my childhood favorites. The NeverEnding Story 12-inch, Lamal singing. So this is the club mix and the instrumental. It's such a trip to hear the club mix. I can't imagine ever being at a club and hearing that. But hey, now I can spin it at my own 80s party. Very very cool. Now this one I was so excited to find. I knew exactly what it was, purely looking at this font. So this is the Goon Squad, 8 Arms to Hold You. This is the 12-inch single of a song that was recorded for the film The Goonies that was used in a scene that was cut out. As soon as the kids fall into the pool and they see the pirate ship, an octopus attacks them. And how they defeat it is they put a Walkman in its mouth, and the Walkman is playing this song. So this band was kind of put together from session people to make a hit single, but because it was cut out of the film, it didn't really get the play that the producers were probably intending, but they did push it, and this stuff's kind of hard to find. It's actually a pretty cool song. Check out the scene if you haven't already. It's on the DVD, it's on the Blu-ray. Once you see it, you can understand why they cut it out. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate the comments, your support, your subscribing. It all adds up. It just keeps me going. I love doing this, and I love seeing what you guys give back to me. I am your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.